Hello StarCraft fans, this is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between Light and HuK on Orbital Shipyard. This is from Nation Wars, so we're going to introduce the players by their nations. In the top right of the map, we have the red Protoss player representing Canada. It is HuK. And in the bottom side of the map, we have the green Terran player representing the nation of Korea. It is Light. Now, Light is a retired South Korean Terran player, a former captain of Woongjin Stars. I'm not actually familiar with that clan very much, but again, solid player in his own right. He retired back in 2013, yet here he is playing in Nation Wars in late 2015 and representing his nation. So we'll see how he does against this young upstart of HuK. Okay, not a young upstart. He's been playing StarCraft 2 for a long time. But HuK, again, a fantastic player. He does actually have dual citizenship in the US and Canada, but is representing Canada for the purpose of Nation Wars. Going Nexus first here is HuK. Indeed, he is after the pylon at the front. He did go for Nexus first. Looks like more of a standard barracks expand here from Light, and the refinery should tell us that we're going to see. You know what? I've been fooled by this before. The timing does make sense to go ahead and get a Reaper, but it also makes sense to get a reactor. So we're going to wait and see what Light is going to do. A Reaper might actually do a pretty good job here considering the Nexus first play here from HuK, and also he's getting gas this early after his gateway. Wow. So the Reaper is going to come out here for Light, and what is HuK going to have here to deal with this is the question. He's not going to have a cyber core, I don't think. Going for 2 gateways. He's not going to have a mothership core available. He's going to have to deal with this Reaper in his own special way. Throwing up a pylon, is he going to photon overcharge rush? He can't be. He's not getting a cybernetics core with any level of time. I think he's just trying to fake out Light, make him worry about that possibility, and also keep him from being able to wall in all the way with his own stuff, but it's still an effective wall in. I don't know. Don't waste your time here, Light. Send a Reaper out. Go, Light. Get out of there. That was a good fake out. I like what HuK did there. HuK said, hey, you know what? I'm going to make you worry that my mothership core is on the way. It's going to photon overcharge this and kill all your stuff. But really, not a concern. My cybernetics core is not even complete yet, let alone a mothership core on the way. And I believe the SCV did scout all that information. They're still going to go ahead. This Marine and Reaper are going to work together to take out this pylon. And indeed they do. The Reaper still heads on out, but once more, HuK's going to be very, very well prepared for this, having some adepts ready to go, having a mothership core out as well. As soon as this pylon finishes, yes, there goes the mothership core, and it's just going to be super prepared for this event. It's a factory into a command center, so no starport, no 1-1-1 build from Light, instead going for a barracks factory command center, recognizing the early Nexus from HuK. He wants to get a 3-base economy up before HuK really gets his 2-base established and ready to go. KD8 charge knocking that adept forward. Don't see that a whole lot. But again, they do extra damage versus Reapers, which are Light units right here with the glaive cannon. 10 damage, 23 versus Light. And the Reaper actually kind of faked him out. The Reaper instead going to head back on up here. Does have 60 hit points. And photon overcharge, 2 shots it into the face. Oh no, poor thing. Poor Reaper. Don't walk past pylons if you're a Reaper. It is a hazard to your health. HuK as well, getting a Stargate and a couple more gateways. Fairly standard play here from our Protoss player. Trying to get up this wall is the Psionic Transfer Shade. Not going to happen. There are 3 Marines. It's not really enough to take on Adept all by their lonesomes, but 2 more are going to pop out here momentarily. HuK is now getting... Did he cancel that Phoenix? I think he was getting a Phoenix, and then he just canceled it and is going to make an Oracle instead. Where is that? Yep, there's the Oracle instead. A Cyclone on the way for Light. Probably to deal with any Warp Prism drops. They do an excellent job with their lock-on ability, getting Warp Prisms knocked out of the sky as they try to swoop on in to the main base. So if HuK's planning on doing that anytime soon, I believe Light will be prepared for it. But again, I don't see a robotics facility. It's pretty much Stargate right now, which is nice. Oracle is good, but at the 4-minute mark, not as good as doing harassment, although Light isn't expecting it to this point. He actually has a Cyclone here, ready to go perhaps against that possibility of an Oracle coming in to try to kill his workers. The Marines here, not quite inside the mineral line, but close enough. I think they could respond if they wanted to. More and more Marines in production, as well as tanks for our Terran player. And here comes the Oracle, so we'll see how well it can do coming along this right side and getting into the main base by way of this area. The Marines are going to catch it though. Oh, they do manage to burn it down before it can do anything. Excellent, excellent positioning there by Light. He knew something was coming. He knew it was a drop or something in the air, like some Phoenix. Had the Marines ready to go, and that was it. 3rd Nexus on the way now, but again, the third orbital command is completed and landing here in the 3rd position for Light. Ka-chink! There it is. Mule call down. Ready, set, go. Nope, not enough energy to do so. Spent them elsewhere before picking up. Smart play. Smart play. So it is 68 to 63 total supply. Light is definitely ahead in that way. Army supply 22 to 14. Light worker supply 47 to 51. HuK is up in that particular area. And a Phoenix just kind of flying around, being annoying. I think the Phoenix lifted this Cyclone and just kind of made it annoyed for a couple of minutes. Didn't do much of anything else. The Adept patrolling back and forth, doing its job to make sure nothing comes up its ramp without the Protoss knowing about it, using the Kala to speak to each other. Because this is prior to the events of Legacy of the Void, where they're still connected to the Kala. I don't know how that actually works with endgame lore. I think this probably all happened before the events of the Legacy of the Void campaign, which you haven't played through. It's really good. And you can find it on my channel. There is actually an entire playlist dedicated to me playing through the entire campaign. Really fun stuff. I enjoy the campaigns from Blizzard StarCraft 2 games. Expansions anyway. Both the Terran and the Zerg were very, very fun. And the Protoss was good as well. Even though I would consider Protoss to be my weakest race, it was still pretty good all the same. Phoenix just really scouting. Hasn't tried to pick anything up. And again, a single Phoenix by itself, when it picks up, it cannot shoot. And so it's really not much of a point in doing that. The Cyclone being very brave, though, coming right on in here and saying, what? I'm going to try to kill a worker. That's good. Bam, bam. Kills a single probe. Backs on out. That lock-on ability does have a cooldown. It does 400 damage over 14 seconds to ground targets. Same thing for flying targets. No, not much different there. Both players, again, just kind of hanging out. There's been little pokes here and there. If we look at workers killed as 1-to-1, units killed 2-to-2. Nothing too insane. No big suicide attacks by anybody. HuK hasn't done any major drops. Just macroing up to their heart's content. I think HuK feels like he can hang with luck in the macro game. Marine does scout out that HuK's clearing this area out, possibly for a 4th. And can he get it? He has Marines, he has Marauders. No upgrades on these guys yet. He is working on +1 armor and +1 attack for them, as well as combat shield. He'll have it momentarily, but not quite to this point. Stalkers passing in the night, heading to the south, while the Marines head to the north. Oh, this could get interesting. Couple of medevacs here, stimming forward. +1/+1 has now finished. Combat shield not quite ready yet, but I don't think that Light's going to wait for it. And indeed, they're going to go ahead and force a cancel on this base. And what is HuK going to do? HuK's going to return home as fast as his legs can handle it. Light says, that's weird. There's nobody home defending this. Might as well walk up this ramp, I suppose. And indeed, they come on in. They're going to try to force a cancel on that robotics facility, kill some adepts, go after an assimilator. Can't decide what he wants to do, but getting sandwiched a little bit there on both sides. But blinking forward is HuK. He doesn't want to be caught on one side of these units. Again, +1/+1 on these guys, and no such upgrades for HuK. He almost has +1/+1 finished, but not quite there yet. Resonating glaives almost complete as well, but again, not really there for this battle at this very, very moment. A robotics facility will finish, and a Ghost Academy coming up for a Terran player. +2/+2 on the way here at the 8-minute mark. And just kind of passing again. Can they see each other? They have to now. Indeed they do. Stimming and getting a nice concave. There is an Archon here, though, in the front doing a lot of splash damage here, but forced to run and does get focused down by Light, chasing this army back, and HuK is losing a lot of time here. He's just losing units trying to run, but unfortunately they're not as fast as Stim Marines and Stim Marauders. But good angle here, keeping most of those units alive. Picking up, boosting on out. In pursuit is Light, 156 to 121 total supply. And Adepts heading on back home, replanting that 4th base as HuK did not get discouraged when he lost it. He is getting a Dark Shrine. Maybe he feels that he is behind. +2/+2 on the way for these ground units. And there it is. +1/+1 is already here. Free Phoenix. Oh, the Phoenix scouts this out, and a scan sees there's nothing defending, dropping Marines and Marauders, but the recall! The recall bringing everybody here. Does Light just want to stand and fight? He does not. He's picking up and getting on out of there. Photon overcharge and a blink forward with Stalkers does kill 1 of the medevacs, but the other 3 do manage to survive. Small group of Marines and Marauders over here getting that pylon, trying to cancel that warping, but there's a second pylon allowing that to happen here. And the Archons, a pretty good answer to this. No medevac support for these guys, so they're going to come out and just kind of take out their frustrations on each other. Oh, Archon overextended just a little bit and got evaporated for his trouble. Liberators on the way for our Terran player Light. +2/+2 just about to finish, getting +1 Terran ship weapons. And +2/+2 just about to finish for Protoss. Not quite here yet, though. Again, too many Adepts, 2 big Archons. And these guys with that Resonating Glaives, their weapon speed is 1.11. 25 damage versus Light. 2-shotting those Marines like they're not even there. Not as good against Marauders, but that's okay. We can't be good about everything, can we? There it is, chrono weapons level 2, infantry weapons level 2, armor level 2, armor level 2. So they're keeping tabs on each other's upgrades, keeping up here. Small group of Marines Marauders heading on up and then backing on down. Another small skirmish over here trying to get that observer. It gets out of range of the scan. A DT heading south just skirts the edge of that orbital scan as well. Was not spotted. Gets here just in time to see an orbital command landing though. Wow, look at that timing. Another attack on up here. Adepts rolling on in. They're going to go ahead and finish that psionic transfer, I think, for sure, and try to hem these units in, but taking the retreating path here is Light. It is 197 to 166 total supply. Where the heck is Light's army? Oh, here it is. All right, so coming on in, and Adept dies immediately. All these Adepts run for their lives, and Archon has fallen as well. All that's left here are Adepts. And some Zealots coming from the left side. They do not have charge. They are dying pretty darn quickly. Stims, a lot of medevacs overhead here. The Adepts trying to kill as many Marines as they can. The Marauders really doing the brunt of the damage here. Forced to stim back and retreat. The Zealots absorbing much of this damage, which is exactly what HuK is using them for. A Cyclone comes in here, going to use its lock-on ability. I don't actually know, but it is enough to kill the rest of these Adepts, no matter their upgrades. Widowmine got a shot off as well. Did manage to actually land that. And the DT finally going to get cleaned up here by a Marine and a Marauder, without doing any more damage to the Terran army. Mothership core might get focused down, and it does! Time warp up, photon overcharge gets taken down, the pylon is gone, but this is a lot of stalkers. With +2/+2, is this enough from the Terran army? Taking out one stalker, taking out another stalker. A few of these are fairly weak right now. Zealots coming from the backside, trying to do what they can. A Widowmine got a shot off there on those retreating Zealots. This base is completely under fire. There are only a couple Zealots left, and that's it. HuK with the GG. Light is victorious, and HuK has left the game. So well played there by Light. I just kind of feel like HuK got out macroed. HuK kept up in the base count. He kept up in the upgrade count. But in the end, the army was just a little bit bigger than Light. He had some good micro. He retreated when he needed to. He regrouped when he needed to. HuK also displayed some excellent stalker micro there. And also bringing those Zealots in was a delicious choice for our Protoss friend. Archons did a bunch of damage as well. But in the end, again, Light just had the bigger army, and that's kind of what mattered here. Killing this fourth base early was huge as well. So good play by Light, representing Korea well in this match. HuK, however, was no slouch himself. Canada can be proud of their son this day. So that's it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter and Facebook, both at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thanks for watching, and you take care of yourself.
Seems like any other summer's evening. But tonight is special. Underground, riches are still. Just to prove her wrong.
Well, just get back to me when you have an answer. That's wanted on the telephone.
You know better than to interrupt me. Say I'm busy and hang up.
All sorts of creatures now appear, including some really unexpected ones. They spend their days underground and only emerge at sunset.
About 3 days later, she was good and ready. So she put on about ½ a pound of makeup, fixed it up with a veil, and set forth to see the mill in person.
I've waited 20 years for this call. Now the mill can wait until I'm good and ready.
At first, there are merely thousands. But soon, more than 1 billion swarm all over the forest. The biggest emergence on the planet is underway. But as night falls, they're transformed. The hunted become hunters.
It was her time to go. It was her time to go. Kill her, and you're gonna pay.
In fact, all sorts of creatures are nocturnal.